Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, scholarship, and research. Fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. Thank you. Now enjoy the show.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of RAERAEs Review, where I will be discussing Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 9 reunion finale, y'all. How's it going? Oh my. See, the last one, is always, they say third time's a charm. And as you can see, yes, Miss Stormy Steele came through. Stormy Steele, what's Corey's last name? Beasley? Yes, looking good and pretty and beautiful. It was a lot going on. We saw what's his name? Marquez the Lane come through. We saw it was a whole lot going on there. I mean, we all know the type of dude he is. Deadbeat dad, not doing what he's supposed to, trying to come on to Melody. I mean, Melody playing with him on the stage. It was just a whole lot of mess going on. I thought Melody was done talking to Martell, but she ended up addressing. Listen, we're gonna get into it. As I clear my throat. Let's go. Oh, Lord, what's going on? Okay, so Ken doesn't find the so-called comments that Martell made about Latricia funny, and that there was no hanky-panky going on, as they both expressed. I don't believe it. Melody don't believe it. A lot of America and abroad don't believe it. It is what it is. I mean, we're going to believe what we're going to believe regardless of what they say. So, but the only person that it matters to is Ken, because he's the one that's choosing to be with this woman. I just find it funny that after all this time, they meaning Martell, Latricia, still think a lie is more important than telling the truth. But all of this is because they chose to lie in the beginning about what was going on. And at the same time, I really wish they would have addressed the lie Chris Fletcher told when at first in the bowling alley, when all the guys were bowling, Courtney, that's when Stormy was still filming, Courtney was there, and they were discussing how Martell knew Latricia. He was being very coy, not really giving any detail instead of being truthful. So, well, all he could have said was, I invited her over to my crib to work out. It was over between me and Melody. But the fact that he had other intentions and he didn't want to say that in front of Ken, in my opinion, is why the lie started. He didn't want to add another notch in his belt, according to Melody, knowing that here's somebody else he was messing with, even though it was at the tail end of their marriage. Whether or not the papers were filed, they were in talks of the divorce proceedings, whatever the case, whatever stage of their divorce they were in or their separation, he didn't want to give light to that. So he rather lie. Again, a lie will need more lies to cover up the lie before and the lie after and the current lie that you're telling. So it's best to just be truthful. But again, when you got folks who lie all the time, that's just what they feel is the right thing to do. Child. Melody found it in herself to address Martell when after Ken said it wasn't funny about Martell lying about, yeah, we did sleep together. Martell's whole thing was, the reason why he joked about it was after so long of them telling the truth about them not sleeping together, it was just something funny to say that he thought was funny to say, okay, well, hell, we slept together. You know, after being accused since the beginning, although they didn't sleep together, according to Martell, he just felt like playing with folks. But this is not anything that you play with. Ken didn't find it funny, and Melody had to bring it up, saying, well, Martell, you're not going to address this man who said that it wasn't funny for you to be joking about his woman, but you want to address all the other women on the show. And then everybody chiming in, and he yelling across Nell's ear. She yelling at him, don't be yelling in my ear. Then he yelling at her back and forth. Chris Fletcher ain't said nothing. Again, what is going on with these men? If it ain't Whitney's husband, Justin, on Salt Lake City letting Seth, Meredith's husband, call her a biatch and ain't said nothing. Now we got Chris Fletcher again letting Martell yell at his wife. You know what? All I know is my man wouldn't do nothing like that. Listen, there were 2 occasions where a man was disrespecting me, once in my man's presence and the other outside of his. I think I told the story about the one outside of his presence. He got in his car and went right to the man. I think he did a 30-minute drive in 15 minutes. Just to make sure he addressed that man. And I was on the phone hearing him address that man. And the second time he addressed the man in my presence at the time it was happening. That's what you call a real man that protects his wife. All this fuddy-duddy, fitty-fally, I don't know, Chris Fletcher. I don't know about you. I don't care how long my wife known to do. I don't care what relationship my wife had. If I was Chris, I wouldn't care what relationship my wife has with the man she arguing with outside of her son, but I'm going to still be there to control how my son reacts to my wife. Can't no heifer go off on my man, and I'm there. And if I hear about it, I'm gonna address you. I'm pulling up. That's how we do. I don't know what's going on in Huntsville. I don't know about all that fiddle-faddle mess going on in Huntsville, but over here in Cali, we address things at the time. That's all I got to say about that. Woo, child. I was like, oh no, oh no. I'm just used to a certain type of man. That's all. Anywho, what's going on, child? Looking at my notes. So pretty much Ken does not believe Martell's intentions was just to work out. He saw a beautiful woman, and he was told by Chris Fletcher there was a pretty girl here. Chris gave him her name. He looked her up. She was pretty enough to call over there. So it is what it is. And Carlos King had the audacity to ask Martell, did he find that Trish was attractive enough for him to come on to and sleep with when he asked her to come over? And then Martell kind of thought about it. First of all, you know how trifling that is of Carlos King to do something like that? You're low-key insulting Latricia's looks and middle-key trying to get Ken's gander up about you calling his wife so-called ugly or not attractive enough. Again, Carlos King would have got checked. Martell would have got checked. Chris Fletcher would have got checked. If Ken was my man, again, if Ken was from Cali, damn this show, all 3 of them fools would have got checked. Right then and right there. And they better film it, and they better be broadcasted. I hope he did check them, and they just didn't film it. What else? I think that was it for that part. Oh, Lord. Now we got the lame dude coming up, y'all. Ooh, this man make me just tap my fingers on this notepad, child. Can you hear my fingers tapping? Ooh, I couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Trish, girl, I don't know. Well, they were together since high school, and it didn't seem like Marquez grew up. But then again, that's what she allows. You know what I'm saying? She allowed a lot of stuff. You know, she going through grief/bereavement. Her parents, if I'm not mistaken, both parents plus her sister. You know, it can take a toll. You know, because we sometimes never get over the death of a loved one, or it may take a long time to get over the death of a loved one. I'm experiencing that right now, going through grief of a sibling and the grief of a parent is not cute. Grief of anybody. I mean, shoot, I had a friend, an ex-boyfriend of mine who passed, and I was, solemn for a very long time. And it's not like we were always in each other's life, but at that moment we were, talking every now and again. Hey, catching up. How you doing? He was married, so wasn't nothing hanky panky going on. It was just, hey, how you doing? He would reach out. But I went to the funeral and it was sad, and I felt sad after that. And every now and again on his birthday, which is coming up. Ooh, that's his birthday is tomorrow. Anyway, it's that time of the year where you think about, oh man. So I understand, the focus for Latricia, and she got children to raise by herself. And the fact that she met a man, they're meaning Ken, to where they're so much compatible that she moved a man into her house. He taking care of things as a man should. They're in a traditional marriage, so they're doing things a little non-traditional because she married and he know it. But the thing is, again, it's what you allow in your relationship. So one, Latricia allowing her ex-husband, soon-to-be ex-husband, pretty much the father of her kids, not to be a parent. At the same time, Ken is allowing the woman he's in cahoots with to be married and not take care of that. So both of them have responsibilities and accountabilities in all of this. They allowed so much. Now that they fed up, everything is coming to blows. Well, they have to give grace to certain situations. And with the lame soon-to-be ex-husband, he's not making it any easier, as we saw in the filming on this reunion, and also what we saw on the internet. Child, we saw some mug shots, arrest warrants lately. Child, I can't wait to see what happened. Apparently, from what I heard, now this is from what I heard, Ken got into some DEA troubles. And on top of that, him and Marquez got into some fisticuffs while possibly filming. Listen, don't grain of salt. This is what I heard. Y'all can find out all the deets if y'all want to, but that's just what I heard. Anywho, back to this reunion. So Marquez talking all kind of BS and coming at Ken for disrespect and pretty much saying Ken is the reason for all the discord that's going on. And both Ken and Latricia coming at Marquez like, no, you the problem. You don't see your kids like you supposed to. You may call or whatnot. And then Kimmy had the nerve to chime in. Kimmy, girl, this ain't your lane, boo-boo. You need to keep going at Melody for all that mess she was causing in your situation. But Kimmy had the nerve to chime in and tell Marquez, do you dish out money for this and for that? Because it does. Now I think she may have been projecting a little bit over Jalen situation, because we never really heard about Jalen daddy doing anything positive. So maybe she's projecting a little bit, about her situation from back in the day, because Jalen good and grown by now, child, but Yeah, Kimmy Grant, Scott has something to say to Marquez, telling him, well, it's more than just being on the phone with your kids, trying to raise them. Are you fully participating? Are you paying for this? Are you paying for that? Are you you should be full-time parent? Shoot. Just because you moved away or what have you, don't mean that you shouldn't be a full-time parent. Whatever you lacking in over here, you should be making up on some other aspect. Child, Kimmy girl, stay out of that. So, back and forth between Latricia, Ken, and Marquez. Marquez stood up and Ken said, you may want to sit down. That's what I said. At the same time, Ken said it. I said, now lame-o, you may need to sit down, because standing up mean you ready to should nobody stand up in a heated argument. Now, Marquez always testing the waters. Maybe that's what happened while we heard about the mug shots between them two. Anyway, all I know is Carlos King had to come over there and get in Marquez's face and sit him down and tell him, I brought you on this show so you can give your accounting of the things that have been going on with you and your children, you and your soon-to-be ex-wife, you and Ken. This is your chance to give your side of things. So, he's just such a lame dude. He's just so lame. Then he had the nerve, the nerve, to start talking to Melody after Carlos King kind of started. He mentioned, does Marquez have a crush on Melody? He said, no, not a crush. He just, he has some admiration for her because of her business acumen. She's a beautiful woman, but he ain't trying to, get in with her like that. And then he offered to give her some flowers. The flowers he got was something that Carlos instigated. So Carlos gave Marquez some flowers from the stage to give to Melody. But first, he actually asked Martell, was it okay? What? Excuse me? What Martell got to do with all this? Excuse me? What does Martell got to do with all this? Again, he don't know what direction he should be going in. He is lost in the. Maybe it's something else going on in his brain that he's just can't get right. That's his name. Can't get right. Lane can't get right. Those are two names I have for him, and that it is what it is, because I don't respect no man who don't take care of his children the way he's supposed to and lying about it at the same time. You have ample opportunity, just like what they said at the boys' graduation party that they filmed. He did not come back over there and spend time with his children before he went back to wherever he lived. Why is that? What's going on? Was he high? Was he into something else going on that he needed to get into? Again, you barely see your children. And when you do, you don't even come with gifts. You don't come empty-handed, eating and drinking up somebody else's stuff. And then Latricia and Ken have the audacity to say that they give him money. Stop giving that man money, Latricia and Ken. If he can't afford it, oh, well. Stop trying to make up. And then, Ken let it out the bag that Marquez borrowed money from his son. Child. Again, lame, deadbeat. But back to these flowers and trying to so-called get with Melody. So Carlos King instigating, gave him some flowers off the stage. He asked Martell, can I give Melody some flowers? Martell's like, man, I don't care about that. Go ahead. Goes over to Melody, give her the flowers, tried to hug her. Then he get on one knee and asked if he could be a part of her crew. Could he send her some information, possibly get mentored in some type of way? He's just trying to get in where he could fit in. First of all, you are lame AF. She don't want you. If she don't want Martell, she dang sure don't want you. Like she told you at the graduation party, stop being a trigger for your soon-to-be ex-wife. That's his name, Trigger. We got Lane, Deadbeat, and Trigger. Ugh. So then after he get up off of his knees, he, asking for a hug. And Melody had the audacity to play with him some more, give him a hug Martell, and then sat his old lame, deadbeat, raggedy ass back down with them Velcro tennis shoes. Next scene, we got the girls' trip, child. All the girls out there. Carlos said, "Ooh, I loved every minute of the girls' trip." I bet you did with your messy self. Had to give me a swig, child. My throat was a little dry. Talking about he loved it. You know what? I'm sick of him. The rooms show how Melody felt about them, according to Kimmy and according to Letitia. It was obvious. We knew then. Carlos said, so do you felt like you should have had better rooms because you're the OGs? Kimmy said, because of the issues between Melody and Letitia and the issues between Melody and Destiny, she was caught in the crossfire, so she was included with all of them. Girl, I guess Kimmy think that she was, in a better situation with Melody. But if you were, you would have had a better room. Don't try and make it seem like them two spoiled it for you, boo-boo. Huh. No, she thought of you, Kimmy Grant Scott, the same way she felt about Letitia and the same way she felt about Destiny. Don't try. No, Kimmy. Y'all three, y'all. Just like she gave better rooms to her two friends. She gave better room to Nell. She gave better room to the big head girl name. Sunny. Giving a better room to Sunny was a dig at Destiny. First of all, the three people that should have been in that three twin size room should have been Sunny and her two friends. Because if it's a cast trip, then the cast should have but again, what's her name? Melody says she paid for it. So blame Melody and not the show. What else happened, child? So again, everybody seemed to think that Melody was just trying to take digs at them and whatnot. Even Nell had an issue. And then Melody stood up and made fun of Nell, saying, well, listen, y'all. She got up and started yelling, acting like Nell, saying that how Nell said, this is Melody shit. Y'all need to fall in line. It is what it is. This is Melody shit. Now, to me, that was Melody proclaiming that this is her shit, and she just used Nell as a scapegoat for her to say what she wanted to say. That's how I feel Melody thinks. Because the whole second half of the season, it was about get back, in my opinion, because that's what she was doing. She wasn't being held accountable, even on this reunion. There's one part where she did apologize again to Nell for disrespecting her at the time of, her mother's demise. And at the time that she was laughing at Nell in the kitchen, she did apologize. And I'm glad she did, because she should have. I mean, it is what it is. So at least she made herself accountable for that. But everything else, like the thing with the lipstick on Maurice's lips, to questioning DUIs with everybody else but the wife after you discuss with the wife, poking fun at people trying to, insinuate things and just that whole thing with Destiny, trying to make it seem like Destiny was after her on the girls' trip, trying to, be next to her at all times and just trying to rekindle something, when all Destiny was doing was just living in the moment. Destiny said, I apologize for what I had to say about you. That's what she said. And she said that at the time of filming, if you go back, y'all, it was about Destiny divulging some stuff that she kind of held close to the vest. There are some things that these so-called adversarial ops keep still to the vest that they would not divulge, even though, they're ops now. But that one thing about Melody and Ariane talking back and forth on the phone is a real situation that really did happen. I believe it did. Melody doesn't want the public to think that she was, contacting or receiving calls from Ariane discussing Martell and all of the ways that she could find out if he's there, or because it makes sense. She did the same thing with Latricia when she was asking all these questions, so-called getting with her ops, trying to find out all the intel she could about Martell. Again, it's the same thing Ariane said she did. That's the same thing Destiny said she did. I mean, it's obvious that it happened. Why these different people are saying that she's doing these things. Also, going to different people asking about Maurice and his DUI. That's what she does, obviously. I'm pretty sure she won't be doing it again because now we've caught on to it, but that's what she's been doing over the years, is getting intel by any means necessary on her ops. I mean, we saw it. So to me, it's true. It's just Melody needs to be more accountable person, so that she doesn't seem like she's some cold-hearted bitch. It doesn't look cute on her, especially when she's trying to build a business to take care of her children, because obviously she's the breadwinner for her children. I've heard on some tapes about Ariane being frustrated that Melody is doing all these things and Martell is barely just doing the show. What happened to the wine? What happened to them bodycon suits? What happened to the real estate? What happened to the children's book that he was promoting? What's going on with that? I mean, maybe I can see that may be an issue if he's, connecting the kids with things, like he made the issue for Melody when she had that hair beauty line with Sugar Mama, where he wanted half of the proceeds. What? Listen. He just anyway. I ain't even gonna go there. What else happened, child? Child. So next we got Stormy coming out. She was a surprise guest, and Rama, she spoke about why she left the show. Pretty much, we all know why she left, with all the mess going on with people who support Melody going after her business, coming into her warehouse that's not supposed to welcome just people off the street. It wasn't a place to purchase product. So why is this woman here? From what I heard, that particular woman who walked up in Stormy's place of business in the warehouse have been kind of stalking her a little bit. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but the fact that same woman, now I remember that same woman telling lies on other content creators. I never forget that. I said, who is so? Come to find out, now at the time that she was telling lies on other famous content creators, it was found out later on that was the same woman who was messing with Stormy's business, and unfortunately, Stormy had to get arrested. Stormy didn't like it. Stormy tried to address it with Melody at the girls' trip. Melody acted like she didn't need to say anything to her people about whether or not they are or aren't. But my thing is this: it would have made great business sense to inform your people, Melody, that if, in case those of you who are contacting other celebrities, businesses, in a way to where it will be some type of negative press, I would hope that it's not you. Something to that effect. Not to say y'all need to stop doing this. No, 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 no. Just make an announcement. Just like she made announcements about trying to call DCFS on other content creators, or putting a call out that Stormy was trying to anyway, it's just some things that's been going on that I personally heard with my own ears and saw with my own eyes that Melody has done that leaves a bad taste in my mouth about her. Now, I'm not on the hate train. I'm just saying it will be nice. It would be a decent thing for Melody to do is to acknowledge when she's wrong. Because from my understanding, from what I see, she's been wrong on 4 different occasions, and she has yet to, no, 3, because she apologized to them on 3 separate occasions, and she has yet to right those wrongs. So Stormy came out, like I said, she let folks know what was going on. She let folks know she was, top dog in sales for TikTok, or some type of 2 different TikToks or 1 TikTok situation. Anyway, we all saw and heard about it. Good for her. And she had to let go of that negativity that came along with the show. It wasn't doing her any good. Like I said, she got arrested behind some of it. And, she's real busy. She spends time between New York and California. She doesn't have a home out here, but it'll be nice, for her to, settle down. Her and Courtney are finalizing their surrogate. So they'll be having another baby coming through, because her current son is going on 4 years old, somewhere around there. Little cute little boy. And they spoke about Kiki. They had a segment with Kiki, and it was cute. It was a nice dedication. Pretty much the only people that spoke about Kiki on the reunion. Now, even though they filmed some things where people spoke nice, kind things about her, on the reunion stage, only 2 people spoke about her, and that was, of course, her cousin Letitia, and rightfully so, because should nobody else say nothing, especially who, and Stormy. And they come find out that Stormy took care of her funeral services. Again, it was something that she felt she needed to do when she heard about the struggles. Wow, that was really nice. Letitia thanked her because she didn't have to do it. And I'm just glad that things were settled and that Kiki is resting. And the show was over, y'all. That was it for Love and Marriage Huntsville, season 9. Finale. We all know that Melody quit the show. So we're going to see what happens for season 10. What's going on, y'all, for season 10? We're going to find out. But y'all, thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate you. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share if you haven't already. And I'll catch you next time for the other reviews coming through. It's a whole new week. So all the Super Bowl's done, and the award Grammys is done. So we back on track. I think Potomac Reunion is going to be coming out. And we're just going to keep resuming, y'all. Thanks again. Don't forget to check out my other reviews that are up. And we'll catch you next time. Bye. All day.